Srinjoy continues to be with us. We also talk about, despite the talks and negotiations that have been taking place and they seem to be progressing to a point, Moscow says that Kyiv has struck a nuclear power plant as Ukraine marks its Independence Day. Now, Russia seems to be accusing Ukraine of launching drone attacks that has sparked a fire at a nuclear power plant in the western Kursk region, and as Ukraine celebrated 34 years of its independence. Let's get in a word from Srinjoy now. Rishabh is also connected with us. Rishabh, good morning. When we speak of the ongoing dialogue and, there has been prisoner swaps that has also taken place in the latest incident. But when it comes to the strikes, they continue. The war continues. The conflict continues. Rishabh.
As of now, Ukraine has not taken the responsibility of hitting the nuclear plants in the Kursk region of Russia. But Russia says that as Ukraine celebrates its 34th National Day, the Independence Day, after getting separated from the Soviet Union back in 1991, it has hit the nuclear power plant. The UN watchdog also did not have a clear picture about it. They said that they are aware of the media reports of such attacks. So while there are talks about trilateral meeting or bilateral meeting between the two sides, and one is looking at, ending the Russia-Ukraine crisis, things doesn't look same on ground. Yes, on table, both the leaders are ready to sit down and discuss. But on ground, the hostilities continue. We have seen Russia bombing Ukraine, Ukraine bombing Russia, and there have been such incidents that are coming. Even when the day Putin and Donald Trump was supposed to meet in Alaska, that day also we saw Russia bombing certain areas of Ukraine as well. So the hostilities continue. The ceasefire, as we have been talking, is not going to be put in place. A peace deal is being discussed upon. Remains to be seen how things unfold, whether Russia-Ukraine crisis will come to an end or whether this all again going to wane.
All right. Well, as far as the UN nuclear watchdog is concerned, it has also said that there were normal radiation levels near the nuclear power plant, as they have been constantly monitoring the radiation levels near the Kursk nuclear power plant. But as far as the Independence Day speech is concerned, Srinjoy, President Zelensky says that Ukraine would continue to fight for its freedom, while it calls for peace, and it says that this seems to be a defined address that he seems to be giving to the nation on the occasion of its Independence Day.
Yes, it's his Independence Day, so naturally he will talk about continuing to fight. And let's not forget that at this point, about a fifth of Ukraine is under Russian control. The Crimea was taken by the Russians in 2014, and this is something President Trump blames President Obama for. And after that, there are large advances that happened in the Luhansk and Donetsk areas of Ukraine. This is eastern Ukraine, close to the Russian border. Now there the Russians have taken a portion of Ukrainian territory, and that's where the fighting is going on very fiercely. There was one part of Kursk that the Ukrainians had invaded and taken over a lot of territory. That's where Ukrainian soldiers had fought with North Korean soldiers who had come to assist the Russians. But the North Korean soldiers, uncertain about how to fight where the skies are controlled by drones, did not do that well. But what we do know is fighting is still going on, and this is serious fighting going on, despite all these talks about peace and so on. But the earlier fighting ends, the better it will be for Ukraine, for Russia, for America, for the West, and for all the South countries.
Right, but Srinjoy, even with the recent visit of the Canadian Prime Minister as well, because as far as the West is concerned, it continues to arm Ukraine. And as you mentioned, the diplomatic efforts are ongoing. Fighting has been continuing on the front lines in eastern Ukraine, where Russia has been claiming that its forces have seized another 2 villages in the Donetsk region. But however, there has also been a prisoner swap that has also happened, another incident. So these two things seems to be happening simultaneously, peace and war. Meanwhile, when we talk about Ukraine, that has been blaming Russia for spreading manipulations and saying that Russia has accused Ukraine of allegedly carrying out targeted strikes on the power plant. Well, Srinjoy, just coming back to you in just a bit, because there is another international development that has come to light. Let's put that out for our viewers this morning.